Shane Van Gisbergen is getting a new crew chief just in time for the playoffs, and are some at Spire already second-guessing their decision to let Corey LaJoie walk? How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Before we get into it, want to shout out my friends at Peanut Patch. They will be at Richmond Raceway this weekend, sampling outside of the track. I've seen their setup at Nashville. It's legit. Boiled peanuts are a Southern tradition. Peanut Patch peanuts are boiled right in the can, and only during the fall when peanuts are ripe. They currently offer 3 flavors: original, Cajun, salt and vinegar. Find out more by heading to peanutpatch.com. I'll also put their social links down in the description below. Again, they will be at Richmond Raceway this weekend, so if you're heading to the track, keep a lookout. And Peanut Patch is now available in Sam's Club and Walmart stores nationwide. Thank you to Peanut Patch for sponsoring the show. I want to start here. TobyChristie.com reported yesterday afternoon that Shane Van Gisbergen is getting a new crew chief. According to this report, Bruce Schlicker has left Colleague Racing. Unclear as to exactly why. Was there personal reasons? Was there a business reason? Who initiated the split? All of that is unclear. What is clear is that the guy SVG's been working with for the first 20 or so races will not be there to guide him through his first NASCAR playoff experience. Instead, Kevin Walter, who has been Josh Williams' crew chief all year, he will move over to SVG's number 97, with Eddie Pardue now becoming the new crew chief of the 11. Again, we don't know exactly why Bruce Schlicker has left the team, but the timing is unfortunate. Shane Van Gisbergen has 3 wins this year. Most of anyone in the Xfinity series. He's been fantastic at the road courses, and he's improved at the ovals. And soon he'll start going to some ovals for the second time. Having a new crew chief, I believe, will put SVG at an additional disadvantage. He has done, I think, very well this year, his first full-time NASCAR season. We expect him to be good at the road courses. Not sure we expect him to win 3 out of 4 of them. And he's coming off a top 5 finish at Indianapolis. You can see during the race weekend how SVG slowly but surely improves. You see him move up the leaderboard, up the running order. He's gotten some really good finishes. I think Shane Van Gisbergen has exceeded expectations, but now he'll have to work with a different crew chief, someone who I would say has underwhelmed with Josh Williams this year. Blame the crew chief, blame the driver, blame the team, you name it. Number 11 so far this year, 18th in points, has been very disappointing. That's who SVG's got to work with now. Good luck. I'm not so sure. Not that I expected SVG to make a super deep playoff run. I wasn't expecting to get to the championship 4 necessarily. But hey, with the Roval in the round of 12, a round of 8 appearance is not out of the question. We'll see how SVG adapts to this new crew chief here in the next few weeks. Next, I want to talk about this. Spire Motorsports co-owner Jeff Dickerson was on SiriusXM NASCAR radio earlier this week, and naturally he was asked about the team's decision to part ways with Corey LaJoie at year's end. Of course, that news broke at the start of this Olympic break. It's still very much a talking point now. And Jeff Dickerson gave a very, very interesting response. Again, he is the co-owner of Spire Motorsports, and he admitted he'd been agonizing for months about what to do with the number 7 team. Then he said this, quote, "I figured a clean slate was better for next year. I'm not sure it's the right decision. We're still working through that. I still don't know if it's the right decision, but I thought it was the best decision we had for 2025. I'm not sure it's the right decision." What do you mean? You're the owner. You got to give a more confident response than that. Have conviction. Own it. You decided to let him go. Don't be second guessing it on public radio. What? Wow. You'd figure that if Spire was truly agonizing over this decision for months, the fact that they would wait until late summer to make the call, you would think that they must have a potential replacement all but lined up. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but man, that is a really interesting quote. For the record, I like Corey LaJoie as a guy. I think as a driver, this season has been extremely disappointing. I don't know who Spire is going to replace LaJoie with. I think if I knew who the replacement was, I could give a more confident answer myself. But at first glance, you look at LaJoie's numbers, you compare him to his rookie teammate Carson Hocevar, and you'd say, yeah, LaJoie has underwhelmed. So I don't blame Spire for letting him go, for going in a different direction. They're making huge investments into the team. With Gainbridge on board, they've they've signed Michael McDowell, veteran driver, who can win. They've signed Rodney Childers, a championship crew chief, who will win. They just grabbed crew chief Travis Peterson for next season. I understand that with the team now in win now mode, maybe Corey LaJoie no longer fits into your plans. So I think the decision to part ways with Corey LaJoie is a valid one, is a logical one, but we don't know who they're replacing him with, and hearing one of the team owners sound somewhat unsure of their decision is pretty wild. And it makes you wonder, who is running the show at Spire? We know about TJ, Jeff Dickerson. They've been there for several years now, basically since the beginning. But with Gainbridge coming in, and we've talked about Andretti Global. Remember last week, the Andretti president said, we want to be in NASCAR. We hope we're in NASCAR soon. Past reports earlier in the spring, they would likely get in through a partnership with an existing team. Gainbridge spending, who knows, maybe $80 million, some have speculated, to buy into Spire. Like, who's pulling the strings? Who's truly calling the shots? Was Jeff Dickerson really on board with letting Corey LaJoie walk? Or were there greater powers inside the walls at Spire that outvoted him? It's weird to hear an owner somewhat second guess such a major decision publicly like that. That's why I'm asking these questions. And who's the replacement? That's really the question. If not Corey LaJoie, then who? If you listen to Power Hour, my podcast with Brennan Poole this week, I think Brennan brought up a great point. Again, Spire has spent all this money to try and win. Now, if you're letting go of Corey LaJoie, who's not a proven NASCAR winner, you'd probably want to replace him with someone who is a proven NASCAR winner, like a Michael McDowell. I think he qualifies, but what proven winners are readily available? I know everyone wants to say Kyle Busch, but that is extremely unlikely. He is under contract with RCR. They pick up his option, he's there. Spire can try to buy him out, but Richard Childress can always just go tell him to take a hike. So if not Kyle Busch, then who? I feel recent rumors have pointed at Justin Haley as maybe the leading candidate for the 7 seat. He's not a proven Cup Series winner, although he does have a Cup Series win on his resume, technically, the rain-shortened 2019 Coke Zero Sugar 400. Thank you, Kurt Busch, for pitting. It's a real win, but I wouldn't say it proved Justin Haley is a Cup winner, I guess. He's won 4 Xfinity Series races, but they've all come at super speedways. He has been to the championship 4 before. I think Justin Haley's legit. And this year with Rick Ware Racing, he's turned heads. He's got 2 ninth place finishes, Darlington, Gateway, the 2 best non-super speedway finishes in Rick Ware Racing history. He's got folks' attention. He also said a couple months ago he's loyal to Rick Ware. So these rumors of Haley to Spire, I'll believe him when I see him. It makes sense. That win in the 2019 Coke Zero 400 was for Spire, technically. Justin Haley was driving the 77 at that time. Spire didn't look the way it does now, but that did happen. There are still some lingering connections between Haley's group and some of the Spire team. Haley to Spire makes sense. And I think because of his success this year at Rick Ware, Justin Haley has sort of reemerged as, like a prospect. He's still very young. I think he's 25 years old, but because he's been in sort of less than stellar equipment the past couple of years, no one's really talking about him like we talk about Connor Zilic or Corey Heim. I think he's re-entered that conversation because of what he's done for Rick Ware this year. So if you're Spire, you have a veteran championship caliber crew chief in Rodney Childers, you team him up with a promising mid-20-year-old guy who has a huge upside. He's not a proven Cup Series winner. He's no Kyle Busch, that's for sure, but maybe there's a spark there. Maybe that's what Spire is betting on. If that's who they pick, if they end up picking Justin Haley, I like Justin Haley a lot. That deal would excite me. It would also make me nervous. Jeff Dickerson saying he's not sure they're making the right decision, that would be valid. Is Justin Haley an upgrade over Corey LaJoie? I think so, but I wouldn't call it a slam dunk success either. And we're not even sure it is Justin Haley. Again, there are other drivers maybe available. Obviously, Sam Mayer, he's been linked to front row. Zane Smith, they could just slide him over, but he's also been linked to front row, ironically. There's some other young guys, Riely Herbst shopping around, Christian Eckes potentially. I still wonder, Eric Jones, what's his contract deal with Legacy? Could he be coerced to go elsewhere? And there's probably a couple other drivers I'm forgetting to name, but recent rumors have suggested maybe Justin Haley, if he can be pried away from Rick Ware, that would be really interesting. But I found those comments from Spire co-owner Jeff Dickerson to be eye-opening. What did you make of those comments? Let me know down in the comment section below. That's all I've got for this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new to the channel and you love all things NASCAR, and a huge thank you to my very generous Patreon supporters as well. I really can't wait to find out who gets the 7. I think we're all waiting anxiously to find out. But thank you for watching, folks. I will see you in the next episode.